Hi, so I'm Terry, and my life story started, with being born into a family that has generational incest. Parents divorced when I was 5, and I would be sent to stay with my dad occasionally, who really had no interest in me, but had an uncle who had a lot of interest in me. And from the age of 5 till almost 11, I was molested by him. From there, very quickly got introduced to drugs. And a lot of older men seemed to understand my hurt too and take advantage of that. And so by the time I was 15, I was heavily doing acid. I was so far involved in that I was already almost 4 months pregnant before I even knew. Somebody actually had to tell me. I was so out of tune with my body because I was just loaded all the time. And that was the year Roe versus Wade passed, so was able to conveniently take care of that because I didn't want to face what I had done to this child inside of me, because I'd been on acid the whole time he was growing in me. From there, by the time I was 17, I was introduced to intravenous drugs, all three: crack, coke, heroin. Heroin became my true love, and so my life went on from there till I was 31. I was a heroin addict, and what that involves, for those that have been involved in drugs have an idea of what that involves, but your life is full of chasing that. It's running your life. You have no real say anymore. The drug has all the say as to how you will conduct yourself. And I used to have a lot of things where I'd say, if I ever do this, then I know I've gone too far. And every time I would turn around, if I ever did this, I had to get a little lower and a little lower and a little lower. And in order to continue to live with myself, I had to die inside. I had to stop being a feeling, living human being and just function and do what the drug said to do. So that's what I would do, and I did that. My last few years, I'd also gotten married in the Sacramento County Jail to a man, and part of the agreement was that I would bring his drugs, so I was a meal for him. And but anyway, there's a lot of things there that went on, and Andy and I were lost together. But there's a lot of ugliness that happens in life, what you do to people. So at any rate, that for me, it was just how I had to die to myself. I could not be a human being because I could not look at the things I did to other people and to myself. For me, my last year out on the street, I was living in the Tenderloin in a hotel where you purchase it by the week, the month, the hour. And I was getting ready to move out of there because I only had enough to re-up or pay for the next day's hotel room. And I was moving out, and all of a sudden the Lord showed me that this is your life. It was going to be full-time prostitution, AIDS, prison, death. And I went across a mirror and I saw myself, and it was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And I realized I didn't want to die. And I fell down on my knees and I cried out to the Lord, and I said, God, I don't want to die. And this time I completely surrendered and turned my life over to Him. It was the beginning of turning my life around, and that was at 31, and that was 30 years ago. And from there, God has done a lot of work. I've done a lot of work with Him to transform this broken life.